Andy Holder, and he's got an inspiring story. He became a triathlete after being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, right?
That is correct.
After. Now, how did that motivate you to get into triathlons?
Well, you know, I had 2 young sons at the time, so I certainly didn't want them seeing this disease as limiting me or limiting our lives. But I thought that this was an opportunity to do something to inspire every other child who had type 1 diabetes, show them they can live without limits. So I thought if I could do the Ironman, which is pretty extreme challenge, and maybe they can look at that and say, you know what, I can manage this disease, but I could also be extraordinary.
Now, just to get us all on the same page, the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
Type 1 is an autoimmune disease where your body stops producing insulin, and we need insulin to live. Type 2 diabetes, your body's still making insulin, it's not working properly, and if you exasperate that with not eating properly, not exercising, that's where the problems come into play. So they both have the same long-term complications if not managed, but with type 1, you're no longer making insulin, so you either have to do insulin injections or wear an insulin pump.
So all the time you have to wear that.
This is my pancreas right here on my belt. Okay. It's the one-touch ping pump, and it delivers insulin automatically, and also I have to tell it to give myself insulin whenever I take in a carbohydrate.
But by being able to do Ironman with the pump like that, the message you're giving to everyone is that life doesn't end when you get type 1 diabetes. You can go on and do just about anything you want.
Absolutely, and in my case, I actually turned things up a notch, and after being diagnosed, I felt I'm going to live an extraordinary life, and I'm going to do something to inspire people.
How do you do it? Okay, I've done a few triathlons in my life.
Sure.
How do you don't swim with that, do you, the pump?
I do not swim with it, and really probably the most challenging thing about this is actually managing my blood sugar, and it's really important, and this is a message for anybody out there with diabetes. It's important to surround yourself with a team of healthcare professionals. I rely heavily on my pharmacist, my good neighbor pharmacist, and anybody who has a chronic disease, there is no healthcare professional better suited to help you with that disease than a pharmacist. You see your doctor maybe once or twice a year, but a pharmacist is there all the time. So they help me a lot with managing blood sugar, things with my pump, nutrition.
Well, managing that, your energy and your intake of nutrition is difficult for everybody doing an Ironman, so I can imagine even more so with the diabetes.
Well, that really hopefully is the inspiring message. It's doing an Ironman is hard for anybody, but when you think about what I have to do from a nutrition standpoint, I'm never not thinking about my blood sugar, and maybe that's a good thing because I can ignore how much my legs hurt, but all I'm doing on race day and during training is managing my nutrition, managing my blood sugar, and it's challenging, but what I tell kids especially is if it was easy, nobody would care and nobody would be inspired, and that's what I'm trying to do, inspire
Great
people.
message, great thing. You just did Lava Man this past weekend. Congratulations on your finish there. You got a couple of appearances coming up. Now, you are national spokesperson for Good Neighbor Pharmacy,
I am the national spokesperson for Good Neighbor Pharmacy.
Okay, and you'll be able to see Iron Andy Holder coming up this Thursday, 7 o'clock breakfast with Seabury Hall students, right?
Yep, that should be fun.
Then also on Thursday at Maui Rotary Club and the Maui Community College nursing students that day. Thank you so much, Iron Andy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What an inspirational guy.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. You're watching Sunrise on K5. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Don't stop.